Yeah, so that's a lot of things that a lot of people will do is they'll pick out one thing and say, okay, our whole doctrine has changed now because of this one thing. And it's like if I posted in the chat a Bible Project podcast called How Not to Read the Bible. And that was one of the things they said is like, don't just pick one verse out of the whole Bible and then read it and then set everything that you believe about Christ on that one thing. You have to take it all. You have to look at it in context. You have to study it. And that, so whenever people are using these arguments against, I mean, and it goes on both sides because Christians do it too all the time. Just look at women in the church and how women have been subjugated for thousands of years because of this verse that was taken out of context. You got to look at it all in the light of all of the scripture to see how it all relates to the big story and not take things out of context, not cherry pick your verses.
And that's how denominations form too.
Yeah, it is. Christianity is like one of the most majorly divided religions out there, if it's not the most divided. And because we're doing exactly that, we're cherry picking. That's my opinion.
I'd say it's a good opinion. I mainly just brought it up because like you hear about it once in a while, and I feel like
Yeah,
we need to like,
we need to know.
you know, the whole like the seeking out knowledge thing and learning thing. It's
Yeah.
part of, you know, being able to protect our faith too. You know.
Yeah. You got to look at it in the light of their culture and in the light of how they did things back then, and not take the scriptures and bring them into our culture and translate them our way. That's another thing people do. So it's good for us to study the scripture and know for ourselves, because it says it in the Bible to study and show yourself to prove. Know what you believe, so that when people come to you asking these things, you know what to say. That's actually one of the reasons that a lot of people leave the church at all, is because they're not studying, and then they'll come across a hard question and they don't know how to answer it, and then they leave. And I'm not saying that y'all are doing that. I'm just saying that's why we need to study, so we know.